Hi guys! Today I'm back with a story that I've been wanting to share ever since I started this channel. It's a shared death experience, and what that is, for those of you who don't know, is when you are on the other side with someone as they are crossing over. I was super lucky to have this experience. To be honest, I have not been someone who's been around death that much throughout my life. I haven't lost many people to like cancers or old age or whatever. And the first person who was of significance in my life who passed away was my grandfather when I was 35 years old. And when he passed away, it was such a beautiful experience. You know, when I say I was lucky, it was so beautiful that I thought death was as miraculous as a birth. That's how beautiful his death was to me. And so I did not fear death, and that experience changed me forever. And because of that, I prayed to the universe that if I could be with my loved ones, with all of my loved ones at their passing, I really wanted to have that opportunity, because it's a special moment to share with someone who's leaving this plane, this existence here on in the physical reality. It's really something. And so I prayed for that, and I didn't lose anyone else for many years. And then this experience of shared death happened to me, and I feel like the universe granted my wish that I was going to be able to share the last moments of my loved ones with them on this earth. And so this is the story. This is how it goes. Okay, so I'm not going to say this was an astral projection or a dream, or I can't give it a qualifier. It is what it is. It was early in the morning, and I was dreaming that, not that early in the morning, I think I slept in. Anyways, I had a dream in which, when I became lucid in the dream, I was riding in a vehicle that looked a lot like a safari vehicle. And we were outdoors. There were lots of people in the kind of like vehicle. And I was with my stepdad, who was ill at the time with, ill. He had Alzheimer's and he was losing it, and we didn't know how long he still had. I didn't think it was going to be that quick. I thought we still had a few weeks, a few months. But anyways, that morning, I found myself in a dream in this vehicle, having fun. It was a really nice ambiance. Like everyone was happy. There were people I didn't know there. There was another person I knew. It was a woman who lived across from me, where I lived at that time. And yeah, so I was with my stepdad. We were talking, having fun, and yeah, I was lucid, and I was wondering why I'm here and trying to be part of the group, having fun. And then the vehicle, not trying, I was having fun, and I was glad to be with my stepdad. And then we arrived to like a clearing. This was kind of like in the woods, and we arrived to a clearing where there were no more trees. It was just grass, kind of hilly or something. And I looked up, and what I saw, it surprised me. It was like, oh my God, it was plenty of really huge arches, like not like an arch like this, but like arches like this that stop like escalators in a mall. Anyways, like they were white arches, super tall, and they raised up into the sky. They didn't start necessarily all on the ground. Some started like 100 feet up in the air, but they were all so tall, they reached up to the height of where we see airplanes in the sky. When airplanes are flying, the arches were that tall, and they were white. There were several dozens of them. It looked like a hub of escalators that led up into the sky. And when I saw that, it struck me like, oh my God. And it was beautiful, it looked nice. It's like, oh my God. And I said, look, we've arrived. And so everyone in the vehicle turned to me and they're like, arrived where? And I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know where we were. So I just said Disneyland, because it felt like when you're going for a ride, we were in this, you know, like a roller coaster ride. So it felt like we're in this safari kind of like fun vehicle, and we're leading up to this place where we're going to do another ride. And so everyone looked, everyone was excited, but we were all really focused what's going on. And the vehicle kind of slowed down, and it started to go towards one of these arches, and it's like everyone, there were lots of vehicles arriving there. It wasn't just us. So it was like a hub, a place where all of these people, I think, that were leaving this earth were gathering to be, you know, led up to like the next phase. And so the vehicle kind of slowed down, was going towards one of these arches. And when we got to the arch, the vehicle kind of clicked on, is exactly like when you go on a ride at well, how do we call that? Like at Disney World. And it clicked on, and as soon as I heard the vehicle click onto one of the arches, I woke up in my bed. And you know, this was such a lucid dream at a moment where it was possible that my stepdad would die soon or whatever, that, and I didn't know that he was dying. And so all day I'm like, oh my God, this has to be some kind of premonition, like he's gonna die, or because no one called me to say he was gonna die. So all day I kept thinking about that. I'm like, am I gonna tell people? They're gonna think I'm crazy, like it's just a dream. Or but that evening around 5, I got the call that he had fallen into coma in the morning, and that he had passed. He passed later during the day. So when I had the dream, he was not already gone, but he was in the coma, and they knew, like, he's actively dying, and they called his son. This is my stepdad, so they called his son. His son didn't think he was going to die right now, but he was moving there, and he called me on his way. Well, he called me on his way at 5 saying, I'm heading there. And then at 7, he called to say he didn't make it in time. He passed. And so I felt very privileged. I really think to this day that this moment was a shared death experience, and that I was really with him when he was crossing over. I didn't see where he headed after, but I'm sure this was the hub. He was going to be taken care of, and he was going up somewhere with these arches, and a lot of other people were going there too. And so I wanted to share this story because it's a nice story I have, and I just shared another story where it felt like I went to hell. And so if you haven't seen that video, or if you don't want to see that video, this video is a happier story of what might happen on the other side when someone's crossing over. Or, you know, like all of these notions we have of heavenly places or hellish places. And so this is my story where I accompanied a loved one to the other side. Shared death experience, and that was my stepdad. His name was Eugene, and this was in February of 2021. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.